Welcome back to LWP, where we recap everything that happened in the Premier League last week. And I don't want to do this fucking show this week. God damn it. Why did I think 38 weeks of this would be fun as a Man United fan? Football sucks. It's a stupid sport. I don't know why we watch it. Alright, as my therapist says, let's talk about it. Let's just get it out of the way first. This is what you all came to see anyway. First game note of the weekend. Manchester United versus Brighton. I don't know how Mark Goldbridge does this every week. But yeah, actually Man United came out looking pretty good. Maybe not as good as they looked last week, but you know, they created a fair amount of chances. They looked more likely to score. But then, a simple cross into the box completely undoes their defense. For some reason, Harry Maguire just lets it run past him. And then Matoma with the diploma goes ahead and finds ex-Man United striker Danny Welbeck to go ahead and open up the scoring. And you remember last week when Kovacic didn't celebrate against his former team? No, Danny Welbeck always celebrates against Manchester United. His boyhood club, by the way, where he came through the academy, and that should tell you everything about how they treated him. And coming out of the second half, Man United are down, so they got to open things up. And Brighton says, okay, bet. And we get what I like to call spread your butt cheeks open football, because every attack might lead to a goal. And Man United finally exploited. A ball is played through to Amad Diallo, who's onside, and the young winger shoots a shot that most likely was going wide, but is deflected in by a defender. And there was a heartwarming moment after this as Ahmed pointed up to the sky in reverence to his stepmother that recently passed away. And that would be the last good thing that happened to Man United for the week. 5 minutes later, another brilliant counterattack from Manchester United, and for a moment, I thought it might actually count. But I forgot that the VAR monster comes for us all. And in the instant replay, you can clearly see that Big Xerxes, who's very much in an offside position, goes ahead and tries to stand up, and in the process, his knee clips the ball right before it goes across the line, making it an offside goal. And Big Dog, just stay down. Stay down. No need for you to get up. Just get out of the way. I cannot recall a more upsetting disallowed goal in my Man United watching career. Oh, it's just so excruciating looking at this. But for everyone here watch corner, go ahead, take this opportunity, this moment to just point at me, point at Manchester United fans and laugh at this incredible troll of a non-goal. So yeah, goal is ruled out. And both teams just go right back to spread your butt cheeks ball. And through all of this chaos, I noticed two things in this match. One is that Brighton manager is like mad young. Apparently he's 31 and he's like too good looking to be this good at coaching. And two, there's a man in the stands behind Erik ten Hag that's in a seal mask. And it's really distracting. And now it's distracting me from the main point of this video. Back to the game. Both teams make substitutions. Brighton brings on like 5 youngsters who they're probably going to sell in 2 years for 200 million combined. And how does Erik ten Hag respond? They take off the goal scorer Amad Diallo and bring on Anthony. And I have written down in my notes, they're bringing on Anthony. We're fucked. Yeah, the moment they brought him on, I knew we were cooked. And sure enough, in the 95th minute, the back line of Man United decided to just say, fuck it, I'm going on holiday. Just leaving nobody in the neighborhood for a back post cross that finds a completely undisturbed João Pedro to go ahead and head it home and win all 3 points. Just look at this image. Look at this. This is not what a professional football team should look like. This is what a Sunday team should look like. It's 2 games in. And I hate being a Manchester United fan. I've said it. But you know what? I wrote down, okay, hate watch corner. You get to eat good this week. Also, I'd like to remind you that Brighton is working with a squad that is worth a fraction of the price of Manchester United. And this will be the 5th win in their last 6 meetings, making the Red Devils the Seagulls' bitch. And for now, it is Dutch Eisenberg's chance to go ahead and don the Timu Pep Guardiola allegations. But as a Man United fan, I've been here many a time before, and I knew something. This is one of the early games of the week. We still had all the other big teams to play, and as long as one of them fuck it up, do something embarrassing, people will forget all about Manchester United. It's not that big of a deal. Brighton's a pretty good team. And surely one of the big 6 would lose, right? Next up was Ipswich versus Man City. Yeah, there was no way that, oh shit, Ipswich are up. They come out and sucker punch the champs. Oh, Ipswich, come on, baby. You have the opportunity to do something very, very funny. It's a pen. It's 1-1. All right. Still, drawing 1-1 to Ipswich is still pretty funny.
1 minute later.
It's 2-1 Man City.
Are now in front.
2 minutes later.
Fuck my dick right off my body. I have it in my notes. Bro, I can't even type fast enough. They scored 4 goals in 9 minutes. And this is all before the 18th minute mark. They gave me hope only to just dumpster on it immediately, catastrophically, as Man City nuke Ipswich Town into oblivion. And for good measure, Erling Haaland gets one late to get his 10th Premier League hat trick in his short Man City career. Baby Thor is a walking absurdity, and he's only 24. He's only 24. This league is so fucked. I'm living in a 1-bedroom apartment and a Manchester United fan. It doesn't get much worse, guys. And with an easy mode 4-1 win, Manchester City go back atop of the league. And good luck to anyone who's going to try to displace them from the Iron Throne for the rest of the year. But you guys already knew they were going to win the league. They can fuck off. Anyway, let's move on. Spurs. All right, Spurs, come on. Do one for me. They're playing Everton. Never mind. I'm fucked. I had a little bit of hope going into this match because Super Weeb and new signing Dominic Solanke was going to be in it because he had an ankle injury, but they didn't need him. Basuma hits an absolute cracker of a goal to open up the scoring, and come on, hits the bar. Anytime you got a pinger off the bar, it's just more aesthetically pleasing. Side note, you're going to see throughout this video an absolute orgy of gorgeous goals in the Premier League this weekend. Yeah, we were spoiled for choice on this one. But before we go ahead and indulge ourselves, let us take a moment to remember from last week the goal that never was. Eze's wonder strike from a free kick that was disallowed because of bullshit. Honestly, I want to start a campaign for the first time in history. Can we make the Puskas Award winner a goal that didn't count? Let's make it happen. Justice for Eze. Justice for the streets. Anyway, back to the game. Pickford goes ahead and makes a horror mistake, gifting the Kimchi God his opening goal of the season. Then Romero's head game goes crazy. Sonny gets his brace, and all is right. And it's a 4-0 win for the London Chickens. Gotta say, for Big Ange and the Posty crew, tremendous response after a Red Bull Field shithousing from Jamie Vardy last week. As for Everton, this is another Sean Dyche masterclass. You can't escape relegation if you're not in the relegation zone. That is the message that this genius is sending to his club. And with 2 games, they have 2 losses, 0 goals, and 7 goals conceded. And their manager is making it plain and clear to the players that they will be fighting for their lives all season long. So you might as well get used to it, with Sean hardening his squad like a metapod for the tough road that lies ahead. Chess, not checkers, kids. Then there was the only top 4 showdown of the weekend, Arsenal versus Aston Villa. This has become a rather intriguing fixture over the last 2 seasons. Aston Villa have fancied themselves the major giant killers of the league, taking on the likes of Arsenal last season, as well as a super impressive domination of Manchester City. And the villains came out swinging. They probably should have had the opener or two. But then something strange happened. One of the deadliest strikers in the Premier League, Ollie Watkins, gets a chance and absolutely fluffs it. Okay, happens to the best. Maybe it's just a one-off thing. Gets another chance and he misses another sitter. It was as if someone had put his finishing on 0 for the day. Inexplicably, the guy who can do this, a man who can score from a single chance at a ridiculous angle on the second biggest stage on the planet, could also miss these 2 chances. And when you don't take your chances, commentators say cliches. And Arsenal begin to turn the screws. Odegaard plays in Saka, and Saka squares it across the box, and a kind deflection finds Leandro Trossard, who's quickly becoming a super sub for the Gunners. The Goons keep up the pressure, and shortly after, a wishful shot from the top of the box from Thomas Partey goes ahead and cripples the wrists of Martinez, who most definitely would have saved this if Messi was still on his team. But yeah, not the best moment for Memmi. And that would be it. 2-0, Mikel Arteta gets his revenge, while the villains will rue their missed opportunities. That is 2 comfortable wins for Mikel Arteta's men, who firmly sit in second place in the Premier League's power rankings. All right, let's break things up. Random notes for the weekend. In the West Ham Crystal Palace game, we witnessed child abuse. Yes, after the Hammer scored a goal, some overzealous West Ham fans collapsed an ad board on top of the poor ball boy. Yes, this poor child was literally being crushed by capitalism. Luckily for him, though, Thomas Soucek is a communist, and he rushed to free his small comrade from the iron clutches of free market economics. And we all got to witness a metaphor for our own lives. In many ways, we are this boy, just minding your own business, trying to live. And here comes late-stage capitalism, trying to just snuff out all our hopes and dreams of owning a house, and our only salvation, the only thing that can give us a little bit of respite from our doomerism existence, is sports. This right here, this is art. And on that note, Liverpool took on Brentford. For my Americans who don't know who Brentford is, they're basically a mid-table team that have made a little bit of noise giant killing over the past couple years. They got a crafty manager, and undoubtedly a dangerous opponent for any Big Six side in the Premier League. And after an uneven but generally positive showing in their first matchup against Ipswich Town, it would be intriguing to see where the slot machine would end up after this match. And the answer, sadly for me as a Man United fan, was better. They looked even fucking better. And they got to the point quick. Early on, Luis Diaz just slices through the Brentford defense and fires a trace around into the back of the net to open up the dirty slot era at Anfield. God, look at this shot. So fucking slotty. And Brentford are no slouches, but it didn't matter. This new look Liverpool were playing some liquid stuff. If last week was a little bit more chaotic in that first half, the entirety of this game could be summed up with the word control. A Salah special made it 2-0, and that's how the game would end, and it could have easily been much, much more. Things cannot be going any better for Arne Slot. Literally, this man hasn't lost a match. I know it's only been 2, but I'm dating all the way back to preseason. He's not even drawn a match. 5 games, 5 wins. They look fantastic. Everyone's blending together. And I'm sure Liverpool fans are pleasantly surprised, especially following up someone as magnificent, someone as beloved as Jurgen Klopp. All this to say, we still need to see them up against a true opponent. I want to see them, in a boss battle. But I mean, so far so good for the bald-headed Dutchman. So if you're keeping track at home, kids, every major fan base in the Premier League got a dub this weekend. And not just like, ooh, they squeaked by. No, everybody had like a glorious win or a fantastic goal that you could just go home and just put on over and over again. Just do that warm smile. Do that meme of like, I don't know, there's like that girl who's just like looking at it with a coffee mug, like, The highlights you can just like rewatch over and over again and fall asleep to. You know, you guys don't do that? I'm the weirdo? Okay, I'm the weirdo. Well, Man United, our main highlight is we literally kept ourselves from winning. And you know how it is. Every week in the Premier League, there's one team in crisis. You never want to be that fan base that's in crisis, which meant that I had one final hope for the weekend. Help me, Todd Roly-Boly. You're my only hope. Yeah, I need Chelsea to drop a stinker of all stinkers, or just maybe even like a slightly stinker, so that me and the boys can deflect a little. And only Chelsea, master of the hate watch, could bring balance to my Twitter mentions. And after the first half of Wolves, it was 2-2, and it was exactly what I was looking for, because Chelsea's defense was sus. I'm talking hella sus. The half ended 2-2, but it could have been much more. And I hate to admit this, but Chelsea fan, look at me. Our teams are not so different, you and I. We both tend to find ourselves in a lot of games where we're playing spread your butt cheeks ball. Oh, also, I'd like to mention that Cole Palmer, during that first half, scored maybe the prettiest goal that we've seen so far this season. This has to be the smoothest mouth breather on the planet. Just look at this, a sumptuous dink over an on-rushing keeper. And he's reeling off, celebrating before it hits the back of the net like he's Curry. I hate to admit this, but I'm just gonna be honest. I think, bro, he's probably my favorite player to watch in the Premier League right now. It's certainly not anyone on Man United. Actually, Mainu's not bad. We'll see about Xerxes. But anyway, now, before we get into the second half, I need to give you guys a little bit of context. Now, the morning before this match, Chelsea winger Noni, Alex, you're gonna kill me. Noni Madueke goes ahead and posts on IG this. Just taking a fat dump on the entire city of Wolverhampton. And then this savage of a man comes out in the second half, and Chelsea starts spamming that one kickoff glitch that no one can stop in FIFA, except it was literally just Cole Palmer playing Noni in on the wing and Noni scoring. They did this 3 times. These are not the same goal. Do not adjust your camera. They scored all 3 of these goals back to back to back. My man called an entire city shit and then dropped the first copy-paste hat trick I've ever seen in my life. The game just might be back, boys. And then to top it off, because Chelsea fans weren't having enough of a good time, João Felix, who re-signed for Chelsea earlier in the week, comes in the game and scores an absolute banger for his return debut. Just dreamland shit, a 6-2 seal clubbing of Wolves. And Chelsea fans go from the relegation zone to leapfrogging Man United fans in the standings, leaving Manchester United as the sole resident of Hate Watch Corner this week and giving every other fucking fan base in the Premier League an opportunity to shit on us like Noni shit on Wolverhampton. And how do I feel about this? Bro, I don't even smoke. But this is what football Twitter has driven me to do. Shit is rough. In this moment, I can't help to think back that I am that child. Because listen, you guys probably see me as a YouTuber with 300K. No, just another one of these childs being crushed on the ad boards of capitalism. And like you, sports is supposed to be an escape from my reality. But instead of helping me dig myself out from underneath that ad board this week, it was like Thomas Socek kicked me in the nuts and laughed in my face. And now to resort to drugs. Kids don't do drugs or smoke. It's not good for you. But it's fine. It's fine. Beautiful thing about the Premier League is that next week, anything can happen. And all the jokes, all the banter, all my mentions on Twitter and IG, it'll only last a week. And when next week rolls around, we'll see who the joke's about. In fact, let me see. Who is United playing next week? Oh my God. This is what I'm going to do from now on. Every time Man United lose, I'm just going to smoke a cig. Let's see how many packs I can get through in a year.